uh, an actionable claim or a contractual right to have some money can be transferred if it is not evidenced. You see, by a negotiable instrument, it can be transferred. However, there are certain legal formalities. A contract of assignment will be needed for transferring an actionable claim, a claim to have money under a contract, and under a contract, it would be transferred by way of a contract of assignment. And for every new transfer of an actionable claim to have money would need a fresh contract of assignment. On the other hand, if this actionable claim to have money is evidenced or based on a negotiable instrument like a promissory note or a bill of exchange, it is very easily transferred without the formality of, you see, making a contract of assignment. And we have, in the last part of the lesson, we have discussed what does promissory note, bill of exchange, and check mean. Today we are going to talk about certain other aspects of negotiable instrument. Like negotiable instrument, whether it is a promissory note or a bill of exchange, is either an order instrument or a bearer instrument. An order instrument is that promissory note, bill of exchange, and check which is payable to a named payee. A promissory note or a bill of exchange and check as well. You see, it's an order instrument if it is payable to a named payee or his order. Like where you see the maker of a promissory note says in the promissory note that I hereby promise to pay to Mr. So and so or his order, then it would be an order instrument. So an order instrument must include the words pay to the order. You see, pay, you might have seen a check which says pay, and then there is a blank space for the name of the payee or order, or you see. So this shows the inclusion of word order with the name of the payee shows that it is negotiable, it is transferable. If only the name of the payee is mentioned in a negotiable instrument, whether it is a promissory note or a bill of exchange, then it is not transferable. That's why this is the requirement of law that order must be included with the name of the payee, which shows that it is payable to the payee or to his order or the one to whom he negotiate this. So this is payable. This is called uh, order instrument. And the order, or when the instrument is an order instrument, I mean to say where the name of the payee is mentioned, you see its negotiation. On the other hand, let me tell you what does a bearer instrument means. So a bearer instrument is the instrument, uh, is that promissory noted bill of exchange or check in which the name of the payee is not mentioned. It's uh, blank, the place which is meant on the, you see, on the negotiable instrument for the name of the payee is left blank. So this never means, you see, a question here must arise in our mind that if the payee's name is not mentioned, then it is not a valid negotiable instrument. Why? Because we have said earlier that if the payee is not a certain person, the negotiable instrument is not a valid negotiable instrument. So whether it is a promissory note or a bill of exchange, You see, while defining promissory note and bill of exchange, I told you that the payee must be a certain person. So making it payable to the bearer, you see, has it does not you see question the certainty of the payee. Payee is even then a certain person, the bearer. The bearer means the person who lawfully possess this instrument. Therefore, you see, there should be no doubt that if a negotiable instrument is payable to bearer, the payee is not certain, he is certain in the sense that it is payable to the one in whose possession it is. Might be the payee has transferred it to another person, and it might have been negotiated to 1,000 people before the time of maturity. You see, if it is payable after the expiry of certain time, you see it get matures on the completion of that period, on the expiry of that period. So during that time, it can be transferred, it can change 1,000 hands. So the last person who is in the possession of the instrument, he is the bearer, and he is a certain person. Uh, what's the difference between negotiations? Negotiation of an order instrument and a bearer instrument. For a bearer instrument, negotiation or transfer from one person to another of a bearer instrument is very easy. It can be negotiated only by delivery. Just suppose that Namal has given me a check, you see, and my name is not mentioned. This is a bill of exchange. And this bill of exchange is an instrument which is technically called a bearer instrument. So if I just suppose if I deliver it to someone else, if I hand it over to one of you, so he is the legal owner who is in possession. But question here arises that if I have lost that check, you see, or if the check has been stolen from me, whether the finder of the check, whether the thief, you see, who has stolen this check from me, would be entitled to get the payment on the instrument or not. I mean, the presumption is that whoever is in possession, he is considered or he is presumed to be a holder or to be a lawful holder, lawful possessor. The presumption subsists till the contrary is proved, till it is proved that the one who has brought the check to the bank is the finder or the thief. Till that time, you see, he is considered or he is presumed to be a lawful holder, a lawful possessor of the instrument. So, in simple word, it's very easy to negotiate a, a bearer instrument. It needs just delivery from the transfer to the transferee. Uh, so far as the negotiation of an order instrument is concerned, that needs two requirements, fulfillment of two requirements. Requirement number one is called endorsement. You see, if just suppose in the same case, if on the check my name is mentioned, the check given to me by the Namal, you see, my name is mentioned. So I cannot negotiate it simply by delivery. Okay, I must first endorse it. By endorsement means that I must sign on it as the transfer, as the endorser. What is endorsement? How it is affected? How many kinds of endorsements are there? We'll talk about it later. But just to tell you that what's the difference between negotiation of a bearer instrument and negotiation of an order instrument. So a bearer instrument can easily be transferred, can be negotiated from one person to another by delivery only, while an order instrument would need, you see, signature of the person whose name is mentioned as the payee. And this signature, this process of signing by the payee is known as endorsement. So for negotiation of order instrument, two requirements. You see, endorsement plus delivery. I hope you understood this. Coming to endorsement, what does endorsement mean? The term endorsement, you see, in respect of a negotiable instrument means signing on the back of or front of the instrument for the purpose of negotiating it to another person. When you see an instrument is an order instrument, that is to say, the name of the payee is mentioned on the instrument, you see, it would need endorsement. Endorsement means, you see, the consent of the payee for negotiation, for transfer from him to another. So he can sign it. Checks are normally signed on the back of it. But there is no harm, there is no, requirement that it must be signed on the back. A bill of exchange, according to the Negotiable Instrument Act of 1881, can be endorsed by signing on the face or on the back or on a paper attached to the negotiable instrument. So when the payee of an instrument sign it for the purpose of endorsement, for the purpose of negotiation or transfer from himself to another, this signing is called endorsement. Okay, and an order instrument cannot be transferred, cannot be negotiated according to section 15 of the Negotiable Instrument Act. It cannot be negotiated from one person, from the payee to another person, unless the payee has you see, endorsed it, or unless the payee has signed it either on the face of it or on the back of it. And don't forget that checks are endorsed always by signing, by the sign of the payee on the back of the check. So the person who affects an endorsement is called endorser, and the person to whom the instrument is negotiated or transferred by endorsement, he is known as endorsee. Just suppose that the check which is in my name, which I have received from the NAMAL, if I wanted to transfer it, naturally this transfer will have to be for consideration. If it is not for consideration, then it's not a valid negotiation. Just suppose that Hashir Munir has done some services for me and I want to pay him through this check. So, but unfortunately, I cannot, you see, transfer this check to him simply by delivery. Why? Because this is not a bearer check. This is an order check. Why? Because my name is mentioned as a payee. So what I would do, I will sign on the back of it. This would make me endorser and Hashir Munir as endorsee. So the one who endorses, he is known as endorser. This is under section 15. Question here arises that who may endorse a negotiable instrument? First of all, you see, if this is first negotiation, if this is first transfer, you see, the payee. And if payee has transferred it to someone else, the endorsee can endorse it. So the maker or drawer cannot endorse it. I mean, how can a maker or drawer endorse it? Maker is a maker, and he has nothing to do with endorsement. Endorsement is the sole right of the payee. In the same way, a drawer of a bill of exchange is a drawer. He signs it, you see, on the face of the bill of exchange as drawer, because he is ordering a drawee to pay the payee an amount of money. So therefore, a maker or a drawer cannot endorse the instrument. But if You see, if just suppose a promissory note is in my name, I'm the payee. I transfer it to another person, another to a third person, and that third person has some dealing with the maker, and he, you see, negotiate it in result of endorsement to the maker. So maker would sign it as endorsee while he wanted to endorse it or negotiate it to someone else, not as a maker. So as a maker of a promissory note and as a drawer of a bill of exchange, you see a bill of exchange or a promissory note cannot be endorsed by the maker or the drawer. If in result of a, you see, continuous negotiation, if it comes back to the maker or the drawer, then he wanted to transfer it to negotiate it to someone else. He would sign it, but he would not sign it as a maker or the drawer. He would sign it, you see, as an endorsement. Uh, Giving you this example again, check was in my name. I signed on the back of it, and you see, I negotiated to Hashir Munir to Usman Shafi to Wasim Raza. And these transfers between these people are taking place for consideration. I I transferred this check in the check which I got from Namal in on a check which was an order check because my name was mentioned as the payee. I transferred it for to Hashir Munir because Hashir Munir sold me his laptop and I wanted to pay him through this check. Hashir Munir got it and he didn't go to get the cash on it. He actually owed Usman Shafi some money because Usman Shafi had sold him his laptop. So Ismail Shafi becomes, you see, the holder, check is in his hand. He transfers it for some other dealing which he had with Wasim Raza. And now it is Wasim Raza, and he is the fifth endorsee, fifth transferee. Wasim Raza actually, I had sold him my laptop, and I mean the Namal, just suppose the maker. He owed some money to Namal, so he transferred it to Namal. Just suppose Namal is not a university; uh, he is a natural person like me and you. Namal got it as a transfer, the same check which was the same bill of exchange or the same promissory note which was made or drawn by the Namal. Now Namal wanted to transfer it to uh, Zille Sherbano. Okay, so Namal would assign it, Mr. Namal, let him call Mr. Namal. Mr. Namal would sign it on the back of it, but not as the maker of the promissory note, not as the drawer of the bill of exchange. He will sign it as an endorsement. So there is possibility that a maker, you see, may endorse and a drawer may endorse when he becomes the owner, you see, in result of continuous negotiation of the same instrument. Negotiation is of two kinds. Endorsement, no, sorry, you see, endorsement is of two kinds. Endorsement in blank and endorsement in full. Endorsement in full is that enforcement in endorsement in which the endorser mentions the name of the endorsee. Just suppose I have got a negotiable instrument or a promissory note, and you see, it has been transferred to me from someone. And now I wanted to, and it is order instrument. Why? Because initially, when it was made or drawn, when this promissory note was made, or this bill of exchange was drawn, the name of the payee was there, and eventually it got to me. And it got to me in the form that my name was mentioned as the endorsee. Okay, so it is an order instrument. Now, if I wanted to I wanted to negotiate it to someone else since it is an order instrument. That's why it would need my endorsement. I will be needed to sign on the back of it. So if I just sign on the back of it, it was an order instrument. Why? Because my name was mentioned as the endorsee. Now I'm the holder, and now I want to transfer to negotiate it to someone else. So if I simply sign it, leaving the place meant for the name of the endorsee, name of the person to whom I'm planning to transfer it, this endorsement is called endorsement in blank. Like pay to A or A's order, followed by the signature of the endorsee. It is endorsed, and the name of the endorsee is not mentioned. Then it is endorsement in blank. Okay, but you see where the endorser, while endorsing an instrument to someone, if he mentions at the time of signing on the back of it for the purpose of endorsement, if he mentions the name of the endorsee, the one to whom he is planning to transfer, then it would be called endorsement in full. I hope you understood difference between the two. Endorsement is, you see, needed. Endorsement is needed for negotiation of an order instrument, and an order instrument is that instrument in which the name of the person entitled to get payment, either he is the payee or he is one of the endorsees, is mentioned. This is an order instrument, and for an order instrument, you see, endorsement is needed. Endorsement and delivery. I told you that an order instrument can only be negotiated when it has been endorsed plus delivered to another person. So if the name of the endorsee is mentioned, it is endorsement in full. And if the name of the endorsee is not mentioned, then endorsement is endorsement in blank. The effect of endorsement in blank and endorsement in full is different. Okay, how? Endorsement in full can convert. Endorsement in full, listen to me, you see, concentrate upon what I'm telling you. An endorsement in full converts a bearer instrument to an order instrument, while an endorsement in a blank, you see, converts an order instrument to a bearer instrument, and endorsement in full converts a bearer instrument into an order instrument. How? I have a check in my hand. You see, it's an order instrument because my name is mentioned as endorsee, the one who negotiated to me through endorsement. He has mentioned my name, you see, while signing for the purpose of endorsement. So it is an order instrument. Do you agree that this is an order instrument? Now, if further I negotiated, I wanted to negotiate it, I would also be needed to endorse it. While this was an order instrument, I signed it on the back of it for the purpose of endorsement. I left the placement for the name of the endorsee blank. So now this order instrument by my endorsement in blank has been converted from an order instrument to bearer instrument. Why it is bearer now? Why? Because I haven't mentioned the name of the endorsee to whom I am transferring. Further, you see that bearer instrument in the in the possession of the one to whom I have negotiated it, he wants to transfer it to someone else. So let us have a break for 2, 3 minutes because my session is going to end and we will meet in the next session. Okay, thank you very much.